Why hello there, fellow residents of the toxic forest. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the Boundless Witch. Episode 28, Getting Stalked by Something Spoopy. Oh, you are alive again and like moving around. So you can go back to pet hauling, and I hope that pod drop raiders don't just like murder you. I can't make any promises, but I mean, that's the hope. And I'm also going to quickly blitz through... Fangface, you'll do it. Blitz through some of the smelting back... Okay! Fangface discovered a strip of fleshy tissue. It resembles human skin, stained gray by teeny metallic particles. It must be sloughed off by someone with a flesh liquefaction. Someone here may not be what they seem. Imprison someone... So, at this point, we can interrogate them about their true identity, or collect more gray flesh and analyze it to determine the biosignature threat, then use surgical operations. So yeah, we can make a little bit more analysis possible. And I mean, I know who it is, so. Analysis is complete. Okay. I'll tend to that in just a minute. I'm just trying to prepare accordingly. And it looks like electro harvesting is going to be the thing to do. So I'm gonna want to resolve this current event before undertaking. Oh, a stunningly good looking. Okay, they are another creep joiner. They're 20, they're too old. Named Scowl. Oh, another body mastery. I know how that be. So I'm gonna have Fang try to clean up the rec room here for us. By stone cutting. And then I want to prepare to deal with the metal horror before too long. Okay, multi-split is done. Now that multi-split is done, we will go back to geothermal. And I want to move the rec room stuff in here. So what I'm going to do, it's a little weird, but I'm going to... I'll put the meals in here, knowing that this is going to be a frozen spot. And then put the kitchen in here temporarily, even though it's like not a great area, so that we're cooking food with this stockpile. Because now that we have multi-split, the plan is to put the outdoor aircon units out here. So taking a look at the... I'll put one right there. And then aircon pipes in for freezing purposes. I also might change the layout for the overhead mountain here, but we're gonna start incorporating the air cons in a big way. And Fang, I'll let you sleep in just a moment. You are dying of thirst. Sorry you ate without a table. Alright, so the reason I did all this is I plan on putting the hospital bed for a medical examination in here. Complete with a vitals monitor. And then 2 turrets on dead power and a dormant mech so that we can deal with this situation. But I want to deal with this situation because it's more pending first. So, like, I'm a little busy. Just a little busy. Other map tile, so not my concern. So once I have the aircon unit, what I intend to do is to line freezers hooked up to that aircon in like a bunch of the rooms to drop the ambient temperature in here well below the tolerance of Silver Knight or Fangface, meaning Silver Knight and Fangface, you are going to be set to anything. And anything is actually going to be, I'll call it warm. So for now, I don't really have armor. I'm going to phase out all the armor. For utility, it's going to be anything but shield. Forget Noble Apparel. And then in the miscellaneous, it's going to be kid pants, kid parka, kid romper, kid shirt, kid travel wear, pants, parka, button-down shirt. And I think that about covers it. Because they're dying. I mean, they're gonna freeze. It's exactly why I said I'm not keeping them naked to Sakura Rory in the chat. Because I'd rather them be alive. And then once we have the means to deep freeze stuff, I can then phase out the old coolers, which are less power efficient than the aircon units, which will be more efficient. A comments player. Yeah, sure. I'll see what there is to trade, I guess. Some knives. They have, like, super good weapons, but it's not like I can afford it. They do have a shield belt, which would be pretty sexy to have for someone, but I'm going to hold off on that. Is the time remaining broken? I don't know. Potentially, potentially not. I really don't know. Sorry. Skull departure. Okay. Disappointed in the way we treated them, but, like, didn't actually try to murder us. At least not initially, but, you know, that might change. I'm going to have Witch quickly blitz through the slag here, just to get it done. And then we'll deal with the surgery inspection once this is, like, set up, which it is currently not, but hopefully will be soon. So Joker might need a toque, and Sakura is probably going to need a toque, or something warmer than a lab coat. Although she doesn't have to spend a lot of time... Actually, now that I think about it, she doesn't really have to spend a lot of time in the base, unlike the others who actually sleep in there, because she doesn't sleep or eat. So she doesn't need to be warm like the rest of them. Entity escape. Sight stealer. Right as I move the right as I move the turrets, right? It's just how it goes. Joker, now's maybe not the best time to, like, come chilling in here. Alright, let's do it. It's done. Thank you for Meyer. right. Let's continue with the surgical inspection stuff. And once everyone's awake in the morning, I will do exactly that. I just don't want to jump the gun too early. Oh, power. So that actually is another change to this I was considering, which was moving the door. So this whole, like, I don't really need the infrastructure here, to be honest. So I think I'm going to mine this spot, move the light there. I don't mind comms being there. It's fine. But I'm going to change the layout of this significantly. I'm going to put a door here instead of there. And then walls here and here. Filling this in with walls. And then mining this area with a door there. And then I think I'm going to put another door over here. Or maybe here with walls like that. I'm just adjusting our like overhead mountain area significantly. Got too much going on. All right, Joker. We are going to do a surgical inspection on you. It is the morning. You come on down. Don't worry about all the guns. And Moro, while we do this, flick off the bench. Oh, are you... Oh, it's the other map tile. Hey, who would have guessed? I would have. So, Joker, you are missing a leg. Oh, are you kidding me? Does everyone need to lose a leg? All right. Joker is no longer a metal horror. Vermeer is going to go back to sleep in dormant mechs zone up north. And you can lose your title of metal horror. Because I don't believe anyone else could be. Joker never medically tended anyone and never cooked food or shared a bed with anyone. So, the metal horror threat should be completely over. But before we, we're gonna need to put a peg leg in there. Alright, done. 2 peg legs. Fangface and Moro. Or, and Joker, rather. Alright, is this aircon? No, it's not hooked up yet. So I have to leave the freezers in place until the aircon units are set. I don't have to, but that's what I'm going to do anyway. Getting them ready. And then I'm just adjusting this overhead mountain stuff so that we don't have infestation risks. Now, I know these air columns are doing nothing now, so I'm going to break them down. And this is the only functional one, but that's fine, because it's keeping the corn cold. Ooh, jade. Good for a future ritual room. Okay. We'll need to increase the power. And then this aircon unit is going to go down to, or freezer unit, -20 Celsius. The other things we could do, I know I don't have a kitchen yet. This is eventually going to be the kitchen, but for now, I'm going to put corn or vegetable on a critical priority next to it, just so that we can quickly cook. Okay, contract prison's coming up. Turrets aren't quite in the position yet, so I'll wait a little bit longer to accept that. But now that the freezer's in, I can also break down the old aircon units and then get it ready. So for those that don't know, Overhead Mountain is the only place where bugs can spawn. So if I wall it up, all the overhead tiles are either walled or roofed, there's not going to be a risk for infestations. Muscle parasite for Morrow. Gross. So that's what I'm aiming to do, is to set it up so that there's just nowhere for the infestations to be, because our base will be too cold and all the overhead mountain will be walled up. So now there's a valid path out here going through this little room, and this little room can be unroofed, so this room can be chemgens or something. And then the freezer unit, we'll be adding additional freezer units around the base to reduce the temperature once the spaces are occupied. But obviously it requires a lot of wattage. So that's the main constraint. Okay, a healer. Accept. You're too old. And banish. Figured it was going to be like that. The turrets are ready, so let's accept. Prisoner coming in, and the of no consequence people coming in. I'm going to have the of no consequence people do the initial capture. And the full details is a mutt cluster will deploy nearby, and the berserkers will do their best trying to negate it. Now, the other problem that we have is, at least for now, we're going to have all these, like, guards that have nothing to do because they don't do anything. So I'm going to schedule them to be behind the walls. Oops, not you. Waiting for the cluster. And then these guys are going to need medical tending, which I will tend to them with Witch. So the current priority right now is improve power, add kitchen, and guard prisoners. And these guys just have blood rot. It's pretty easy to manage. I'm not really sure where a mech cluster that's huge is going to land, because like this map tile doesn't really allow for a mech cluster to easily land because of all the terrain blocking petrified trees. So I have no idea how that's going to work. Not a clue. Also, not my problem. But I am hoping they show up quickly so that our guests can fight it. So the guests are set to vegetarian meals, social drugs if they want it. They're not going to carry medicine because I don't trust them. They have, I guess, a pretty normal schedule. I'll just let them recreate, so they're... it's not like they were working anyway, but... And we're just waiting it out. Fluid terrain. I mean, I know. This is a different map tile. If you're nature running and you have that much toxic buildup, that's a bit of a risk. So let's go ahead and start to work on gas masks again. Because that's some pretty bad sickness, I would say. In Fing Face, you probably... No, you're doing all right. But Morrow and Joker are not. So sometime in the next 13 days, the mech cluster will land, and we'll be able to deal with it. Oh, good lord. Well, a lot of them are visitors, so in that case... No, actually, I'm going to give them herbal meds, only because they will be more capable in combat with herbal meds. So ultimately, I think it's in my advantage. But I'm a little worried about my food supply, given the added mouths to feed. Not sure if I want to make a dramatic change right now or not. But what I could do is fertilize these areas. Potentially in preparation to grow like more rice or something like that. Yeah, food's gonna run out. Rice to the rescue. I just read your... Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is... I'll change some of these over to rice. So a lot of this hill route is kind of far along. Oh, crap. Revenant. So, we have a Revenant here who's gonna be a problem. We have a Revenant flesh chunk. So Revenants are invisible and are going to haunt people and knock them into comas. I'm going to analyze the flesh chunk, but Biarcona is now hypnotized and will not be able to move. Yeah, I know I have a little bit of food out here. It's not going to be a... It's not even worth considering. Alright, so there it is, the Revenant chunk. Now, I don't have... I think what I'm going to do is... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get disruptor flares. But what I can do is get a proximity detector up to help out with this. So I'm going to build a proximity detector for this area to know when they're coming. Which has analyzed the flesh chunk, learned more about the Revenant's biology. You'll be able to find it, kill it. You can reveal it using disruptor flares, explosives, EMPs, fire foam, or fire. Moro, I want you to go grab Molotovs. Oh, great, food binge. And we're getting a proximity detector built. A cold snap. Oh my god. Seriously? Seriously, game? Could you just chill? Another thing we could do is EMPs. So I'm going to quickly smith up some EMP grenades. I know that the Joker and the like, they are, so for everyone else, I'm going to have them be behind the walls to stay together. And then on top of that, I'm going to limit access to how to get in and out of the base so that we know we're driving the Revenant towards bottlenecks. Okay, there goes all my crops. Thanks, Cold Snap. So the Revenant is going to be... I'll put another proximity detector, basically coming in through here and then walking through here. I'm gonna essentially force it to take a specific path. Inconvenient for me, but at least I'll know where it will be. Now our base has one way in, one way out. Just going to make it a little bit easier for us to defend ourselves. The other thing is I'm going to duplicate the behind the wall zone. And then remove this section from it, which is close to where the Revenant spawns. And order everyone to the new area, which is farther away. Animals are not going to be targeted by the Revenant, but we'll make our stand around here. And I just have a bunch of berserkers ready to help with that. And then the EMPs, if I can smith it in time, should be helpful. And then Joker, I'm going to have you grab a lance. Prisoners, I'm sure you need food. Yes. How's our power grid? We're doing all right. Okay. We're okay. Malnutrition, trivial. Could be worse. Do we have any, oh, shoot. I don't have any gas masks. Okay. I'm going to queue them up after the MP grenades, because I think the threat of the Revenant is greater than the threat of the pollution. And then I might also put some turrets out here on dead power, because the Revenant is scarier, significantly scarier than some blood-rotten prisoners. I don't know what I'm going to do about low food, though. I'm a little freaked, because this cold snap is just the worst timing known to man. I don't know. I guess I can feed the guests insect meat or something. Or go grazing, leave the map tile, and, like, harvest food elsewhere. I'm not even sure. One of the issues of multiple negative events happening back to back to back. Alright, we will soon have the Revenant coming back. I'm, like, ready for it to arrive, because it should be coming any minute now. And I don't think Witch is going to have EMPs ready in time. Do I have what I need for greenhouse? I don't have the power grid for it, no. Not really. We could maybe eke it out a little bit in closing this. It really depends on how long the cold snap goes. Because if I had a sun lamp, let's say here, we could grow some things in here if we heat it. But it's not a great solution because it, it's expensive. But I do have a lot of solar panels to offset it if we went that route. But at the moment, I would say us getting killed by a mech cluster or a Revenant is far greater of a risk. So I'm not worried about the stuff that is going to be an issue tomorrow. I gotta survive today. I'm not spending brain power on that right now. This is really the only way in and out, right? If I forbid this door, no one should be able to exit. Yes, okay. Single point of entry. Alright, Revenant. What you gonna do? It's out there. It's lurking. Also going to build a little bit of wooden platform here for fire reasons, to maybe catch it in a fire. So I'm going to forbid this flooring for now. Oh, we're just going to do the walls. All right, I'm going to stop that. Oh, you know what? I don't... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I don't have access to wood, I think is the issue, right? Yeah. Let's cut down some of these trees. Because I mean, I'm not going outside right now. That would be... And I don't really want to go close to the door. Sounds like a bad idea. Why not mine out the tree? I could. It's just lengthier process, not a lot of wood. Okay, witch. Go somewhere warm. You need to be combat ready. Whoops. Maybe not while they're bathing. God, where is this thing? Normally it's not this infrequent. And Roga's already starving. Oh, crap. Far out. The clean soil in Space Hunter is not the bottleneck right now. We aren't farming because it's -8 Celsius out. That's the problem. Where is this Revenant? Good God. Like how my animals are just like going about their business. Not a care in the world. Well, maybe we will get the MPs in time. Alright, Mara, you can sleep. Where is the mech cluster? I have no idea. I mean, it doesn't necessarily... It could show up, like, at the last day of the 12.5 day or 13-day visit. So, you know, that might be what's happening here. I really can't say. They'll show up eventually, but when that is up to it. For the vegetarian diet, let's edit this. I don't believe... so I think the fact that they are raw food is just like a... random. Mech versus Remnant. The two will likely not fight. Now, I don't really know what's going on with the fact that the Revenant hasn't come back. It's very strange. Because it should have. I see its markings out here. So it like lurked around here and then like never came back. The other issue is, yeah, okay. Which I'm gonna have you make a run for chem fuel. I know it means getting close to danger zone, but I need power on for the detectors and stuff. I'm gonna just shut down the comms console. Waiting for my guard to go down? Well, my guard's not going to go down. So I can just keep waiting. Normally it stalks like once every night. It's kind of weird that it hasn't, to be honest. That's odd behavior. It's like it left. I almost want to check dev mode if it's like actually here or not. This is just so strange. Alright, smog's lifting. I still don't have any more info about what's going on. Yeah, it did hit someone not of my faction, but I don't think that was really the issue. I don't think that's like the big thing as to why it's not, you know, recurring. But maybe it is. I don't know. It's very odd that we don't know where it is. Now, I mean, what we could do once we have the EMP grenades is like go outside as like one big crew and start EMPing around looking for it. Because if you EMP it, you do reveal it. I don't like that approach because you're more likely to get ganked than you are to make any meaningful progress at killing it because it is tanky as hell. All right, cold snap's over. Cool. I might need to risk going in not great spots to put rice everywhere, because I don't have the luxury not to do it. The other thing I could do is everyone can grow, because this isn't harvesting, so I don't really care who does it. Anyone can sow. Well, that shouldn't be rice. So, no, stop. So have everyone sow rice to keep us fed. Yeah, it can open doors, so these fences won't do anything. If you're wondering, those fences don't keep it out at all. But where it is, I can't say I know. Alright, Witch is now helping to sow area. And then we'll sow up there. Now we are heading into the winter. So I think I am going to have to do a grow light. I'm not sure there is a better solution than that. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to destroy or remove this entire grow zone. I'm going to put 2 columns in there and then roof it up and grow light it. Sprinkler and grow light and fertilizer. Because we're going to starve otherwise. So Silver Knight, that's going to be on you. And you will be allowed up in that spot. It sketches me out because I know that that's pretty close to where the Revenant can come into the base. Because they would enter from here and we have to pass by there. I don't like it, but I have to live with it. Because it hypnotizes you so fast, it's going to be hard to stop it in time. But, you know, whatever. Is what it is. Challenge a RimWorld, right? Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Boundless Witch, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patron, viewers like you that support the channel, and everyone that made it out to the marathon in show of support. I hope to catch you a next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors in the toxic wasteland.